What's up, guys, and welcome to another Fortune Lady deck profile from myself. So some people asked me for another version or an updated profile. So I said, yeah, let's go into the deck profile. I kinda changed it since the last two formats, so it's decent. It's not meta, but it's decent, so I can say that it can, destroy some decks at all. But I can't guarantee that it's always be good, so it's still kind of fun to play them. But yeah, let's start with the profiles. So first off, we play Fortune Ladies. We play triple light. So, light triggers effects when she's removed from the field by her card effect and special summons another Fortune Lady from your deck. Yeah, you have to run her at 3. There's no reason to run her less than 3. And you have Future Visions and, of course, Dark Hole and other cards that can trigger her effect to get out the 3 Fortune Lady Darkness. What she does is when she destroys a monster by battle, or another Fortune Lady you control destroys a monster by battle, you can special summon one Fortune Lady from your graveyard. You can also summon another of her again. And of course, summoning back the light or the water. Water can be very nice if you get out the combo. It's a +1, so 2 waters. When she's special summoned and you control another Fortune Lady except water, you can draw 2 cards. Very simple effect, and really, if you can get her effect, you draw 2 cards and it just goes off. You have so much pluses, but it's kind of hard because you can draw her and she clocks in hand. So still good at one point. You have to run her at 2. Never run her 3 or 1, because you always need 1 in the graveyard or 1 in the deck to get her out. So, little Tesh card, summon a monk, still 2 in this deck. Instant rank 4s are instant, and you have a lot of spells in this deck that you don't use at one time. So he can go into Zephyros, so you special summon a Zephyros or Fortune Lady Water to get into your rank 4s very easily. And kind of good in this deck, because you don't have that much of good monsters in this deck. So, little Tesh card, by the way, these 2 guys. Forgot the name in English. So what he does is, I mainly run him because of the secondary effect. So you can target 1 face-up card on the field, doing either player's turn. So target 1 face-up card on the field and destroy it in the next end phase. So it has actually synergy with the with the Future Visions. So you summon him, Future Visions triggers, and you can chain his effect to destroy a monster or back row from your floodgates from your opponent, or pendulum zones, whatever. And I run him because of these floodgates. Monarchs are a thing, so you can pop their field spell here, the domain, and other floodgate cards. So he's not very bad in my opinion, and he has 1800 attack. Dark has synergy with Allure of Darkness, and he's a spellcaster, so also synergy with Dark Renewal. So 1 Weathman, he's a spellcaster, and he's good to bump the Zephyros or the Fortune Lady Water. And if he gets destroyed by battle, you can draw 1 card. Always draw the 1 card, it's good. 1 Zephyros. Nothing changed since the last deck profile, except I removed the fire. So Zephyros is still in this deck. He's also dark, so still has synergy with Allure of Darkness. And you can bounce the field spell or the floodgates you control to special summon him. It's always good to bounce the field spell. If your opponent normal summoned a monster last turn, you know, it stays removed. And you have a darkness in your hand, for example, you can bounce the field spell, tribute him for the dark, and dark does not, it's important, she does not get removed by this card effect. So, one Ryo light monster, that's important. So, if you have the Summoner Monk, you can special summon him to get the place for the Chaos Sorcerer. He has a very nice effect, so he's at 1 point, you know. 1900 attack, and your opponent can search. We don't search in this deck. I cut out the what's the name, Raymay. Raymay is not in this deck anymore because you don't have to search actually with Raymay. So he's in here, and one Chaos Sorcerer. I played 2. Now I play 1 because I felt like 2 is a bit too cloggy. And no red nails, I don't run BLS because he is a dark monster and a spellcaster. So you can synergy. Synergy with your Dark Renewal. By the way, you can special summon him from the grave when he was already special summoned by his own effect. So it says... what does he say? Must be first special summoned by removing 1 light and a dark monster from the graveyard. So if he gets special summoned, by the way, you can soul charge him or you can dark renewal him back, you know. That's very interesting in my opinion. So also running the 1 Demok. He's off the list and that's what I'm very happy about it. Darkness, spellcaster. So dark renewal, again, synergy. And if he destroys a monster by battle, so banishing him. Poof. Last monster, not really a monster, but Maxi. I want to have a second one, but I didn't get it too quite long. But it's Maxi, and if you have Future Visions out, you force your opponent to, you know, special summon monsters. So Maxi is a very nice answer to that. So that were all the monsters I run. Next up for my spells. So nothing changed since the last profile with the Future Visions. Yeah, some people might not run this because they say it slows down your plays as well. I say it's a floodgate card and it fucks up some of your opponent plays. I hate Monarchs, so they get removed. It's kind of interesting when they play their Light Monarch here, the level 8. I think it's Aether or her name, I don't know. But if they want to summon the Aether, first of all, she gets removed. But if they activate their effect and want to special summon the Cuirass, the Cuirass will miss the timing. That's a very interesting play. I realized that from another guy. Said to me, you know, Cuirass does not get his effect because it loses timing. It's a when effect. So if when it's special summoned, you can. So optional. So will lose timing because the last thing that happened is that the Aether gets removed by this card effect. So pluses. Talking about pluses, 3 Fortune's Future. Draw 2 cards by send 1 Banished Fortunati back to the graveyard. Yeah, has great synergy with the double Allure of Darkness. It's good that this card is at 2. I wish it's at 3, but I was like, oh my god, let's ban it list. God damn it. Well, I actually came because of this, and you know, you have a darkness, a Fortunati Darkness with this and this. You go +1 and wow, so much pluses at one time. Yeah, if you normal summon the light with Future Visions, you can activate this. I don't really prefer to, you know, get back the light in the next turn. I only do when I have compulse on my start hand, and that has actually good synergy. So 1 Twin Twister, You have some cards that you don't want on the hand, so you can discard them, like the Fortunately Dark or Zephyros or the dead high-level monsters like Demok or the Chaos Sorcerer. So removing back row. But I run only one. Never consider to play more than one. They're breaking when you don't play against, you know, heavy back row decks. I would cite another one in, but I don't have more than one to interest at the time. So, Raigeki and Dark Hole. Raigeki mainly to remove annoying monsters. Dark Hole to remove annoying monsters. And your light, of course. That's important. Remove your light with this card is good. Getting your dark easily. Very easily. Huh? Come on, my hand. God damn it. And last spell, Soul Charge. It's needed. You run this at the full force. So it's at 1, sadly. But it's okay. If you're going into dark and 1 or 2 waters, draw 4 cards. Wow. Oh my god. So broken. So broken. So, the traps. I remove the Mirror Forces. So I play 3 another Mirror Forces. Quakening Mirror Force, to be honest. Feeding the dark like crazy, you know. If your opponent runs into this, they're getting all flipped face down, and your opponent can change these battle positions. So you can run with dark over these monsters. It's annoying, but it's good, because this card doesn't target, it doesn't destroy at all with a card effect. And, you know, they are staying face down. On most of the monsters have more attack points than defense. And, I mean, look at Monarchs. They have like 1,000, I think. 1,000 should be. And you can easily run over them with the dark. And they don't get any effects. So, it's nice. Double Dark Renewal. This is out since, I think, January or February this year. I don't know. But it's good. Get out your dark or your Demok from your deck. And, you know, if you have the dead waters on your hand or lights or whatever, this is a good card because it doesn't destroy at all. It just targets the opponent's monster and your own monster. And if that's the case, they are getting, they're not getting destroyed. They're just getting put on the graveyard. So you can actually get around Beals with this. Kind of funny. So the bottomless, not the bottomless, the trap hole lineup. Because I run Rafflesia, so 1 bottomless, 1 space time, and the 1 trap tricks triple nightmare. I mainly run this because of opponent's monsters. If they special summon monsters from the extra deck, it's almost the case if I have Rafflesia and they want to bouncer with Castle. I take this because it negates. So Rafflesia becomes a negator in some point. So, yeah, of course, pendulum formats, so bottomless and space time. 1 compulse, still a good combo with light, and I would run this at 2, I would be honest, but it isn't, so 1 is enough at all. So, last card, 2 mistake. You don't search in this deck. I cut out the Raymay because of the synergy, and most of the decks are searching, so mistake is a great card. And we finished. Not quite yet, because we still have the extra deck. So, begin with Norito, the Moral Leader. He requires 2 spellcasters, level 6 to summon, and he's a negator. He negates 1 spell or trap card by detaching 1 material and destroys it. It's good with the Chaos Sorcerer. It is level 6 spellcaster and of course your dark. So that's the reason why I run him. He's good. 1 Durandal, mainly because of the what will we got here? Yeah, you know, the first effect is kind of nice to shuffle all cards from your hand back to the deck to draw another same cards. And he's a Not really a negator. He changes effects to destroy one spell or trap card. But I would not consider to do this while you have your back row. A little back row, let's say. Something like one Quakening Mirror Force. Would not recommend it, but it's still good to negate other cards. So another bunch of rank 4s, of course. 101, Castel. You know, these two offensive cards. He's good for monsters, he's good for anything else. That's why I would always go into him first if we have monsters that we want to get over. And he's especially good because removing face-up cards. So another way to get around floodgates. And this card to protect important cards you need to destroy other cards you don't need. And of course, he's good against MST. So MST will target their cards when you chain his effect. But who runs MST today? We are all running Twin Twister. But you know, he's always good to get around effects that targets one single card. Yeah, Ragnar Zero to get around these boosters. Let's call them booster. Good against every you know, tanky plays. Tanky boosts all the beast warrior types. So good against Yusenju and the Fire King, not Fire King, Fire Fist. You know, destroy a card and draw one card. That's the good thing about her. And it's a spell speed 2 effect, making her very, very good. One Heartland Draco, field spell plus this is good. Still can there are ways to get around. I should really try to speak slowly that I can not do mistakes anymore. So one Heartland Draco, attack directly, and if he gets both of his attacks good, so 2000 to your opponent. One Black Ship of Corn, mainly because of the reason that he does not destroy, he removes monsters. Dweller, good. Dweller always played in almost every single situation. Then there are so many decks right now that have graveyard effects. Cosmo, Monarchs. Some of the Performer Pals, I think, I don't know. But, you know, I go like very often into Dweller. Kinda good. There's a thing that I want to run him 2 times. But I don't. Still don't. So, one Rebellion Xyz Dragon to get over big stuff. Well, whatever. Never played this so often, but still good at one point. One Rhapsody to get around cards that you don't want to see in the graveyard. So mainly of Shadows. It's funny to banish their fusion spells, but I don't see Shadow in today's meta anymore. Just playing against a friend of mine, playing still Shadows with Prediction Princess engine, whatever. So I run him. One Gagaga Cowboy. He's always needed. Never, I repeat, never forget him. He kills your opponent. The last 800. That's good. So, for the offense, I also run Utopia with this. It's kind of obvious that we run the Lightning. And gets around big stuff like the boss monsters from Raid Raptors and another stuff, whatever. You know, it's an Armadas effect. That's mainly because I run this card, because of its Armadas effect. I don't really run it because of the 5000 attack it can get. But whatever, still a good card, and that's why you should always run him in rank 4 decks. last but not least, the one Rafflesia. So we're having 3 targets in our deck and 2500 defense. Of course, not that opponents run over this card easily. As I said, Traptrix, Trapple, Nightmare to negate stuff, and of course good against Pendulum. That's so good, and I love it for some reason. We finished, guys. We finished the deck profile. But if you have any questions for this deck, let me know. Or any suggestions that you want to share with me or you want to share with other people. And, you know, it's kind of harsh that this deck doesn't get any support anymore. I would like to see support of this deck. But of course, you know, it's Konami. They create a deck and then they, you know, pull it to the side, you know. It's kind of sad, but we will always be in this situation. I don't have to talk about more than this. I'd consider to play this deck again in a local just to test it. It did second place. It was around... I can't remember actually. It did second place in locals once. Then with the last deck profile I had with the hands, so Fire and Ice Hand. As I realized, Fire and Ice Hand aren't in this deck anymore because of the Allure of Darkness, and I wanted to have much more synergy with this deck. So I'm trying this deck in the next, you know, in the next time. Actually, next week, to be honest. And I would tell you how I played. So, how can I tell? See you in the next deck profile or in the next video, whatever.